Can't even see myself. This is weird.
Hello, hi, hey, it's Sharona. Zach's having technical difficulties tonight, so I might have to end up leading the show. Zach, are you still with me? I don't know if he's here or not. Um, Maybe he'll come back in. Zach lives in Atlanta and should have better.
There?
Yeah, I'm here.
This is bad. I was on, then I was off, then I was on. Anyway, we're
You're
just
on.
going to fast forward real quick and say, Sharona, how long have you hated the Tennessee Titans?
All right, first of all, we've got to get it doing right, okay? Let's just pour one out for Sharona. All right. Cheers, Zach. Thanks for being so welcoming to me coming over to the dark side.
What is that, a cabin fever you got there?
Yum. It is a shock top chocolate wheat. Yummy, yummy.
Oh my, that is dark.
So, when did I become a hater? Zach, I would tell you, but it would ruin your uber obsessive love with T-Rack. So, let's just say that my skepticism toward the Tennessee Titans has been building for quite some time. Oh, I lost him again. Zach's gone again. Oh no. Zach.
I see your mouth moving. Oh my gosh. I bet what you just said was freaking awesome.
It was, of course. It's always freaking awesome. Yeah, are you with me or not, Zach? I'm going to give Zach about 5 minutes to get his internet connection going because I've got Stanley Cup, I've got NBA playoffs, I've got a brewski, I've poured one out, and I'm ready to go. Zach, by the way, lives in Atlanta and has the crappiest internet connection for a big city dweller I have ever seen. And he doesn't know what a hotspot is. You guys, we're definitely going to have to educate Zach. This was going to be, we had such big plans, Zach. I can see you down there in the corner. But I can't hear you and you're not moving, so I have to assume that you're dead to me now. Oh, there he goes. We had such big plans for this. We were going to talk about that draft that Sharona, by the way, loves so very much. But I'm not going to do it by myself. I have to have company. I have to have somebody holding my hand. Oh, there he is.
This is so not awesome.
Okay.
This is the opposite of awesome.
I was basically clowning you for. I was basically clowning you, Zach, for being a big city dweller with the crappiest internet connection that I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's pretty much accurate. Yeah, it's pretty much. It's kind of like someone who lives in.
And he's got. Okay. All right. Well, I can see that. Oh yeah, the Brooklyn Nets are kicking some Miami Heat buttocks, and Zach has crappy internet. So, Sharona might just make the executive decision to can tonight's broadcast.
Boo! This is gonna be like the worst thing to watch.
Well, they got to see me pour one out for my fandom.
This
That
is
was
like
awesome.
watching the Titans.
And he's gone again. No, he's there. He's back again. He's gone again. He's back again. Zach, Sharona has made the decision. We are canning the broadcast. We'll be back. Maybe
Wait,
we'll. What?
I can't promise anything.
You just like the Titans! Not to be trusted. You are not to be trusted. The untrustworthiness has rubbed off on you.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I can get one sentence and then it's going to be 5 minutes. I'm guaranteeing it right now. Pac-Man, where are you, Pac-Man? I miss you,
Pac-Man
Pac-Man.
followed me
You're a better
here.
pick than Taylor.
Pac-Man, I know,
Oh, really?
right? I mean, compared to how I feel about
Why
the
would that guy be on
current number
social
one
media?
pick, I love the Pac-Man pick now.
It's so sad. And they had to draft like a white dude named Taylor, and then he had to have horrifying off-the-field issues.
Yes.
Oh, screw this app. I don't care about the app.
They're all about character, Zach.
I don't think the NFL really cares about character. I'll just say this. They've suspended Josh Gordon probably for a year for smoking pot. And Greg Hardy apparently for the Panthers just like threw his girlfriend on a couch full of guns.
30.
And he'll probably get 2 games. That's my guess.
Ray Rice knocked his fiance out and drug her out of a elevator, and nothing's happened to him.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the issue is they have these drugs kind of written into the CBA, so they know it's like you fail a test, this is what happens. If you get caught dragging your girlfriend on video, well, this has to go through the legal system. Although teams do stuff to players all the time without, going through the legal system.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a bit of a problem.
It's just, we had a dude that got fined and is going to get a suspension for saying, "Oh my God, horrible" about Mike Sam.
Yeah,
but it's okay to knock
this
your
Twitter
fiancé
policing
out. I mean. And I didn't really much have a problem with that. I understand that. I just wish that they cared about women as much.
Yeah, not exactly showing it. When they draft Zach Mettenberger, it's just insane. Like I was reading Mike Tanier, Sports on Earth, and he was like basically quoting Greg Cosell talking about Zach Mettenberger and said on the good side he could be Ben Roethlisberger, and I was like, wow, Roethlisberger, Mettenberger, both guys have had sexual issues in the state of Georgia.
Right.
Not necessarily, yeah. In terms of on the field, okay, that'd be good. But then it's just like it keeps getting dragged down. Like, okay, at best, Zach Mettenberger is a statuesque quarterback who has a good arm, but he's recovering from a ACL tear, and he apparently failed a drug test at the combine. And I think we know why he was a 6th-round pick.
A lot of boards. So.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, and I talked about this a little bit last night, I already had a bad taste in my mouth from the Taylor Lewan pick. And when I might not have minded, Ashley, the Zach Mettenberger pick as much even then, except they freaking moved up to draft him and really wasted 2 draft picks. I mean, I say wait, they burned 2 draft picks to take him. So
Yeah, that's a tough one because they always say the teams, generally speaking, who have the most picks usually end up playing better because you get more chances at the lottery. You
yeah,
might actually win. And usually seventh round picks don't end up being anything, but we had a seventh round pick, Cortland Finnegan, who ended up being a pretty good player. So yeah, that's one thing I liked. If we can get sort of chronological, like they actually traded down the second round. I was like, great, they got an extra pick. They need extra
yeah.
picks. And then yeah, the sixth round they decided to trade up, but yeah, they really like this guy, and he did drop a lot. I don't know, it's weird because it's like, well, you got to deal with the hand you have. Well, considering what the Titans have at quarterback, he's got a shot at being the guy maybe in a year. But you just can't be too excited about it. This is the face of the franchise, right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, and I'm just being real. I don't like the direction as a fan. Now, of course, and it's for me. It's also a. I should probably. I thought you might have some funny things to say about my crown and stuff, but no, I'm gonna take it off. For me, it's
You say
moving
you look
into.
good in anything, so there you go.
Thank you. You're so sweet. Moving into the media and doing all that, you distance yourself a little bit, from being so much a fan. Now, I think I come from a mindset, with my background and everything, that you can be objective, and I think that there's too much emphasis placed on, whether you are all that, credible or what have you. If you're a fan of, people come from biases all the time, and for whatever reason, don't always report things from a completely objective place. And and I think Zach might actually have something to say about that, because he made some comments to me about some odd things about the Titans draft picks and whatnot. Except I think I lost him again. Yep. Zach.
Off the field stuff when it comes to Taylor and Zach. I'm not sure if you heard any of that, but you kind of paused and you're back and you're not
Taylor,
back. Oh,
I
God.
heard Taylor and Zach.
Yeah. Well, I was saying is it seemed like the beat writers for the team were kind of minimizing the off the field stuff. They were like, well, I can't comment about that because this is a job and it's also access to the team that can be taken away. So I can kind of understand that, although it does seem. The thing is, with this Titans draft, you don't have to go to the character concerns to go, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Because I think it was the line about Taylor Lewan was, well, the Titans now have 3 pass protectors in search of someone to protect. Like, well, we have this great offensive line for we don't know who.
Yeah, I mean, it was odd for a lot of reasons. They signed Michael Orr to a contract that was indicative of him being their starter on the right
8
side
figures.
for, a couple of years.
8 figures.
Yeah, one if not 2 years. Well, the guaranteed money was a little, but anyway, they've got a very fantastic starter in Mike Roos. I did hear today that he's being shopped, so maybe they're looking to trade Mike Roos and get God knows what nightmare they'll do with that. But so
Yeah,
I
it's
guess.
like, do you get a 5th round pick for a 31-year-old, left tackle who's on the last year of his deal? The team that just jumps out at you is the Carolina Panthers because they went
Yeah.
from like playoff team to decimated in like one off season. So they could definitely use a guy. And the thing about Ruse, which is even more infuriating, is he's been absolutely professional about this. He
Oh
came
yeah.
back to training camp. He's not pouting like Andre Johnson, not going to camp because he's afraid about the direction of the team. He's like,
You
I've
don't
been with
want.
the team for 9 years. I'm all in. And
I'm
that's
gonna have to. We're gonna have to talk.
infuriating.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about Dre because I don't agree with you on Dre, but yeah, I mean,
What's
uh,
that you say? You don't agree with me?
I know, right?
What's the deal? What do you have? Give me a
Dre,
hot take.
I am look, and I think a lot of what he said was blown out of proportion. He was just talking and being real about being real about. I mean, do you blame the guy? I mean, if he had been in a decent offensive system that allowed him to produce, and if they had ever given him any help until they drafted DeAndre Hopkins, what kind of numbers would he have? He's never. They're going through yet another rebuilding project, and really don't know what their answer is right now at the quarterback position. And he is going. I think he's 33. Will be 33. He's in. He's at that point where he knows he's not going to play that much longer. It just doesn't happen. Father Time remains undefeated, and he might like to go to a team where he has a shot at a ring, and maybe getting some decent numbers that could help him get into the Hall.
Yeah, that's one thing about Andre Johnson. Does he have a double-digit touchdown year? Yeah, it's weird
Yeah,
that all the Texans' offense is like in the red zone, give ball to Arian Foster or throw it to one of our
tight
mediocre
ends.
tight ends.
Hmm.
And Andre Johnson like basically blocks and
Yeah, I
punches
mean it's
Cortland Finnegan.
it's crazy. I can't blame the guy. Poor guy. I feel bad for him. I'm a big Andre Johnson fan. So yeah. I mean I can't blame him. So but back to the Titans.
Well,
That's the Texans. And so, yeah. Speaking of Andre Johnson, let's talk a little bit about. Oh hey, do you want to talk about the other draft picks? We didn't talk about them. Bishop Sankey, kind of an interesting pick. I've got Zach down here doing this. Zach, if you're saying something, I can't hear you. Zach and his wonderful um, internet connection.
wait.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, it's like you never know, man. It's like the old end. You keep it right where it is, you're good, and then you're like, no, yes, no, and then you stop moving, and then you do move, and
And you're gone again. Gone again. Well, I will say it. Zach's already brought it up a little bit. And on one hand, you had to like that trade because, like Zach said, they did pick up another draft pick. Bishop Sankey, Zach.
yeah, we'll see how long this goes. He's the ultimate film versus stats guy. All the stats guys love him, and they compare him to guys like Giovanni Bernard, LaShawn McCoy, Doug Martin, Ray Rice, pre-2013 Ray Rice, and Matt Forte. And then when the film people get to him, he's a plotter. He's what is he? Vic Ballard.
Yeah.
Almost no functional run strength, according to Greg Cosell. Yeah. Not very good vision, but that's okay. We're used to that with Chris Johnson. He has a hole the size of a truck, and he runs to his guy's
A whole
backside.
line of Chris's.
So, but the thing is, they had a choice of any running back they wanted, and they picked this guy, and he's going to be their guy. Sean Green, knee surgery or nose knee surgery. I'm actually intrigued, and I'll be skipping ahead a little bit, that the guy from Western Kentucky they got as an undrafted free agent. I
Yeah.
think he can probably do Sean Green's job
Yeah.
just fine, but I'm sure they'll hold on to Sean Green because, veterans. But I
I
think
don't know.
they
I don't know. I think
were
that
suckered into, like, we had to get a running back, and they did. And they got an extra pick. So overall, it wasn't terrible.
they had an
Is
extra
that as
pick.
good as you can say about the draft?
They had an extra pick that they used on Marcuston Huff. Then they picked
That's right.
Daquan. They picked Daquan Jones with their earlier fourth round pick, and picked Huff with their later round pick. What are your thoughts on those two fourth round picks?
Well, I can't say I know that much about them. I don't know, I hear about Daquan Jones, we hear about every defensive tackle, like inconsistent motor, but has the skill. So I'm like, well, maybe he can be the nose tackle, or he can play, 4-3 under tackle. But the
Hey, he
Titans
can
have a
join.
lot of
He
defensive
can
tackle.
he can join the 20 other defensive linemen on the roster.
Yeah, exactly. Was this the fourth year in a row the Titans needed pass rush help and they got none? So yeah. But in terms of getting a guy who might be as good as they thought Sammy Lee Hill was, hey, maybe he could be that guy. And Huff, all I've heard about Huff is he's like a free safety, cornerback tweener. Sounds like he's another kind of Tommy Campbell type who everybody will hype up in preseason and might not ever.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you have to wonder, is he going to make the roster? A guy who doesn't really have a true position. He's played both, projects more to the cornerback position. Fast, ran track, so I kind of have an affinity for that. We'll see.
Oh, look at that. The magic beer is bringing back the internet. Do it, beer, do it.
Here,
This is a Belgian beer. It's more powerful than anything you know. Enjoy the next
um,
42 seconds with one line.
fifth round pick is my favorite. Zach knows this. If you follow me, listen to me, you probably know this too. A guy that I like, that I wanted them to take a look at, Avery Williamson. I think he has a legitimate shot at being a good player for them, so we will see. I thought it was a very good value pick too. He dropped a little bit more than I expected.
I know why you like him. You like him because he's SEC. He's from one of those 13 SEC schools that had better academic scores than UT. Oh, sorry. Too soon?
Mhm. Hate on Zach. Where's your hater tag? We need to tag you with that hater tag again. We've already
You're
talked
coming down with thunder when it's
we've already talked about the 6th round pick as much, really more than I want to. And of course, I didn't have a 7th round pick. So, and that's not a knock on you, Zach. You know I love you, but you know how I feel about the Titans draft this year. If they wanted a quarterback, they should have gone and gotten one. I don't like them doing what they did. I mean, I think that I don't know what the respective values are there. Using a 6th and a 7th round, probably somewhere between a 4th and a 5th, maybe a late 4th, early 5th, if you talk about combined value. So, I mean, I don't know. What, I guess, yay. Yeah, they got another guy with off-the-field issues who might be okay. Hooray. Championship. It's interesting. I was looking at, I don't pay a whole lot of attention to power rankings and all of that. But I do pay some attention to, I think I lost Zach again. I'm going to keep talking. I do pay somewhat attention to Vegas because Vegas is right more often than not. They're very seldom are they extremely wrong for a variety of reasons. And everybody that does this, including Vegas, has dropped. There goes that. Has dropped the Titans. Their odds in Vegas dropped. They dropped in the power rankings. You can say whatever you want to say about what I may think. I know a lot of you don't agree with me. But numbers don't lie, and if Vegas thinks that there's a problem, I think that you might want to give some credence to that. Fantasy football, Zach.
Speech you gave on my internet.
Let's talk about some fantasy football, and then we're going to shut it down. Zach and I both.
Talk quick.
What? Yeah, talk quick because. All right. Well, let's talk about undrafted free agent gems. We didn't really talk about that too much. Antonio Andrews, we did talk about a little bit. I agree with Zach. A guy that could be a real gem. They obviously like him. Gave him a nice little signing bonus there. So, super productive college player. Any other gems in the undrafted free agent class that you see, Zach?
Well, I'm just intrigued because they got about 3 wide receivers, and it definitely looks like the net number 4 guy, Brian Robisky. It's so funny. He's like a 3rd round pick, and he's like a
We lost Zach again. We lost Zach again. I'm trying to check the score over here. All right, well, he'll be back. He always comes back right when I'm getting ready to shut it down and go watch some playoffs. The wide receivers Zach was talking about include a guy that I think could be maybe a little bit of a steal. His name is Darrell Walker. He is a wide receiver from Texas A&M, a teammate of Mike Evans, who managed to put up some very nice numbers considering he was kind of the 3rd guy there. So he's a guy that I like. They got a couple of offensive linemen that some people thought would get drafted, and Gabe Icard, he's a center from Oklahoma, and Justin McCray, an offensive lineman from Central Florida. So some nice little players there. I guess we'll see. What? If you're gonna constantly be in and out, I'm just gonna carry on without you. I see.
Yeah, I think you can do it solo. This is Frank Wycheck. The power of Wycheck compels you.
What does Frankie compel me to do?
I don't know. Talk about good stuff. I think because I was at the LP Field event on opening draft night, I think they knew who they were going to take because every pick before the Titans pick, they were totally off. But when the Titans came up, they're like, Taylor Lewan, Taylor Lewan. And I'm like, why would they draft Taylor Lewan? And then they drafted Taylor Lewan. So, yeah, that's my little story. I had some Bills fans really wanting me to come to the podium and punch Frank Wycheck, but, they didn't offer me enough money.
Ah, well, okay.
You don't like my story? Okay, fine.
No, I think that it would have been great if you had done it. I mean, not for Frank's sake, but just as an entertainment move. I hear there were a lot of boos for that pick.
There's a lot of who's that guy? I think just because everybody knew about the quarterbacks, I was like. For a second, I was like, maybe they're going to take a quarterback and go in this crazy, wild, this has upside move. No, we're going to go the offensive tackle. Okay. Yeah. This is my team, sort of. Possibly. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I don't know. It's been a whole minute here. Yeah, it is unusual because, we talked about fantasy football. Now Bishop Sankey's the one rookie guy who actually has, the line on a starting job. So he actually will be a player that people will probably draft
Mm-hmm.
in rookie drafts or in redrafts, because that's what most people are in. You got this glow going on. You're just glowing.
I am glowing. I'm glowing.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a light, not just.
Was it back? I think Anthony Thomas, Zach's gone again. Anthony Thomas in PPR leagues is a guy that could be very intriguing. They're talking about using him somewhat in Kansas City, somewhat in a Dexter McCluster role. So Storm Johnson, the Jacksonville Jaguars rookie running back, might stand a chance. Now, I like Toby Gerhart, don't get me wrong, but they might use a little bit of a platoon. We'll have to see about that. And I know, here, my sleeper pick, Terrence West, Cleveland Browns. I think that guy has a legit shot to make an impact this year, so we will see about that.
Yeah.
I just ran down the rookie running backs, the ones that I had picked.
Yeah, that wasn't a very good landing spot for most anybody besides Bishop, Mr. Bishop.
Terrence West.
This is the year of the. I'm intrigued by that Isaiah Crowell guy, off the field concerns. Gosh, why didn't the Titans take him? But undrafted guy.
Terrence West got drafted by the Cleveland Browns, 4th round, I think, something like that. He's going to be okay, I think. You might want to think about taking a chance on him. Zach's gone again. I'm going to run down my rookie wide receivers. When he comes back, we're going to say goodbye. Sammy Watkins, Mike Evans, and Kelvin Benjamin are obvious picks to be guys who could make an impact at wide receiver. I personally like Allen Robinson for the Jacksonville Jaguars. A nice wide receiver. They're a very wide receiver needy team. Obviously, they have Cecil Shorts, and they drafted that other guy, Marcus Lee, wasn't it, from USC. Justin Blackman is probably not going to play. Keep an eye on Allen Robinson, and I will say this again. If good Eli shows back up, look out for ODB. So there.
Yeah, you know me.
ODB.
Exactly.
So,
that Jarvis Landry guy, he's all right too.
Yeah, I mean, Allen
Robinson. Allen Robinson's another guy that like the stats guys love and the film guys don't like as much. But if you're just into tall receivers, and I know you are, then yeah, he's a guy to look at.
I like what I like.
That's the whole thing. It's like everybody, when it comes to the receivers, they like them young and tall, and so Mike Evans all the way. I'm hoping I get him in my rookie draft coming up because, it's all about the Tampa Bay power offense, baby. Do you see all the tall guys they have now? How come the Titans didn't draft tall guys? What's the deal?
They drafted a tall guy. I mean, Taylor Lewan is like, what, 6'5"?
Oh, boy.
Zach
Taylor. I mean, come on. How
6'5"?
Nashville a freaking name is that? I'll look at you with the knowledge. I was thinking, receiver-wise, but...
Okay.
Hey, we have Justin Hunter, and we have that other guy, and we have that other guy, and yeah.
Michael Preston is 6'3".
And Michael Preston, yeah.
Justin Hunter is fairly
He's still
tall.
around. He still exists.
Yes. I forget, the Darrell Walker he's got some nice size to him. 6'1", something 6'2", maybe.
That's what she said.
TWSS. So there. All right. Well, we managed to get through the show, Zach. You were here for most of it.
Sort of. I'm always here in spirit, but yeah. So welcome to the dark side. The beer is much better on this side. Embracing the reality of the situation is always good. Because when it comes to the NFL, they're always looking at the greenbacks before anything else. So not it's nice to have the highs, but unfortunately the Titans, there have been very many of those in the last 5 years. So you can see why we want to be a little bit skeptical about the team and their direction. Because we're not quite sure about our GM. We don't know about our coach. He's a retread, but he's got a nice name like the Wiz. Can't hate that, right? So it's all up to how it goes in the regular season. And now we're going to be in the really dead zone, and really stupid stories are going to get our attention because there's nothing going on.
Yeah, it's all going to be about Mike Sam and his reality TV show and blah, blah, blah. So.
M-I-Z, that's all I got to say. You hear him talking about Missouri players? Yeah. Michael Sam had 3 sacks in 3 different games, and that's how many sacks Jadeveon Clowney had the entire year. Just saying. You're all about the stats. What about that?
Yeah, you know
what?
Of course,
he's drafted by Jeff Fisher. Luckily, he's not a wide receiver, or else, he'd be out of the league in about 2 weeks.
What do you think?
He might have a chance because Jeff Fisher likes those defensive guys.
What do you think Jeff Fisher's going to think of that reality TV show?
I haven't really heard much about that. So there actually is going to be a reality TV. I mean, it makes sense, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know that it was maybe the smartest thing. Had to get a score check. The Nets are only up 11 points. Zach's gone again. Yeah, I mean, whatever. I don't watch reality TV, first of all, so I'm hardly the one to be weighing in on this. But, I mean, he's going to do what he's going to do. Do you. I'm a big do you fan. I'm going to let Zach try to come back in so he can say goodbye and we can sign off. But although I have to say that is an excellent picture of him down there swigging his beer.
Yeah, if you see the beer, I'm back. Watch the
Zach.
beer very closely. This is my last Belgian beer.
Well, I'm Sharona. I'm gonna kick it back over to Zach to lead us out. But I'm Sharona.
Old school.
You can follow me on Twitter at Sports by Sharona. You can find me Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Yahoo Sports Radio. Game Over with Fast Eye and Sharona. We'll be talking lots of stuff.
I have a brand new internet connection for next week, so maybe this will work better. Apologies to everybody, and especially to Sharona for her ultimate patience, but she knows how to fill the air with quality sports takes. So yeah, Zach_Law online and on Twitter, and we'll be getting back on the fantasy football interviews next week. I have Christian Hardy, who I believe is 18 or something like that. So I got one of them youngsters in there. Get them while they're young. They might actually take care of me when I'm old.
You go, dude.
So thanks, everybody. And the dark side will return next week over you. What?
Good night.
Beer.